an idea. How about we open up Tier Maker and we go through characters and how they're gonna get impacted by the things that that we know so far about 4.0. Let's start with Bennett. So here's what we know so far, right? We know that we're getting a bunch of new characters. We're getting these new weapons. Honestly, the new weapons I don't think really change too much. They're gonna change a few things, but nothing that major. We're getting the new artifacts, which actually do matter a lot. We're getting Linny. Now, Linny's kit is very, very, very much tailored to Mono Pyro. He's an attack scaler. He's gonna synergize really well with Bennett, which means that Bennett is already at least getting a minor improvement. Also, if we look at the new artifact sets, we do have the Maréchaussée Hunter, which relies on character HP changing. Now, with Bennett, that's a little sus because he won't always heal you even when you're not like that low HP, and he heals you in pretty big amounts. But yeah, actually that's kind of it. I don't think it really synergizes with Bennett. I don't think the Golden Troop has any particularly huge synergy with any of Bennett's teams. So it's really all about Linny. And yeah, I mean, so Bennett's gonna get a minor improvement, I think. Albedo is getting a minor improvement, not because he's actually increasing in power, just because the new artifact set gives you another option to that can work with him. That doesn't force you to go into the Husk domain if you're not actually planning on playing Mono Geo and you just want to play him for fun. Yeah, that's true. We're also getting the Husk set on Strongbox. That is another thing I forgot about. But yeah, so he gets minor improvement for getting a new set option and having his main set be put on the Strongbox. All right, next up, Amber. All right, Ayaka. No new sets here that really matter for Ayaka. I guess potentially Hydro character could be a fine, like, free-to-play option for a Hydro option in Ayaka teams. We still don't know how many times Hydro MC is gonna
special place in my heart.
Is gonna hit
Hope the
with
sun
their
isn't
ult,
cringe.
right? Yeah. Like, we still don't know how many times this is gonna hit. Like, if it hits, it's 4 seconds. It becomes 7 seconds with cons, and you're getting Hydro MC cons for free. So it's enough that if you do it right before Ayaka, it'll be there for the whole ult. Is a new craftable somewhat okay for Ayaka? It is somewhat okay, but I don't think it's actually better than Amenoma. Amenoma's good for Ayaka. But yeah, I'm not too confident for Ayaka. It really depends. Duration 4 seconds, cooldown 20 seconds. I mean, Ayaka's ult is basically that as well. You're gonna tell me Ayaka's ult is bad? But yeah, so it's gonna be between these two. It's really gonna depend on how many times Hydro MC's ult is gonna hit. If it hits a lot of times, a Hydro MC will be a fine free-to-play option for Ayaka teams, for people that don't have Kokomi or Mona. It'll be a nice thing to have. But if it's just really dog shit, if it's like 3 times total, it might go into the no improvement category. Next up, Barbara. I don't think Barbara really gains anything. I think no changes. Wait, why are people saying she got nerfed? Huh? Climb on Strongbox? I mean, yeah, but Barbara doesn't really heal enough for Climb to be that good. She was nerfed? Wait. She got a co-op nerf? Omega. Alright, Beidou. Beidou benefits a lot from Emblem being put on the Strongbox. That's a very nice thing for her. Doesn't seem to have any major synergy with any of these characters. Could have fine synergy with Frumina. I'm not sure yet. I don't think any of the Claymores are that significant. Talking Stick sucks and Tidal Shadow is kind of just eh. The new sets aren't really good on her. I'm gonna say minor improvement from Emblem being on Strongbox, but that's it. Chongyun! No improvement. I'm fairly sure. Actually, okay, here's the thing, alright? The thing about Frumina is that if you're looking at playing Frumina like full cryo, you don't want to use normal attacks. Because using normal attacks is gonna stack up your skill and make it do physical damage instead of cryo damage. So you actively want to avoid doing normal attacks. So I don't actually think Chongyun is going to help him at all. Right, if you want to play him cryo, you don't want a normal attack, and if you want to play him physical, you don't want Chongyun. So either way, you don't want Chongyun. And so we're going to go with no improvement. Diluc! No real increase on this. I guess you could argue that his fucking Retrovirgin team gets slightly increased. I am going to lock it in. Diluc is our first. Other options get improved. Because Diluc is not really that great in anything, but he is a fine option in Monopyro, I guess. And Monopyro is getting a much better option. Alright, Diona. No real synergy with these. I don't think any of the new bows, yeah, none of the bows are good for her. Neither of the artifacts are good for her, yeah. No improvement. Fischl, okay. Fischl is our first instance of major improvement. Yeah, Fischl gets Omega fucking buffed by the new set. It's huge. It's actually massive. Yeah, the 3.0 buffs of Fischl weren't enough, and she was really bad before 3.0. Now she's just kind of bad. So they really need to give her another buff. But I don't know if it'll be enough. Maybe Natlan is gonna make her actually a meta character, you know? Is Fischl's a 4 skill damage? Yes it is. Yes it is. But yeah. Yeah, cool. Alright, Ganyu. Okay. Ganyu's getting a new option with a new Battle Pass bow, right? Is it better than Hamayumi? Probably, because it does have a crit sub stat, but probably not by much. But yeah, so I'm hesitating between the two, because it's a minor improvement only if you get the Battle Pass and get the bow multiple times. But it's a minor improvement even if you do. Are you really willing to spend, like, what's it gonna be? How much does the Battle Pass cost? Ugh. Fucking 65 bucks for a pretty minor improvement? Like, at that point, just go with the fucking weapon banner and get her a goddamn signature. Like, come on, be for real. If you're gonna spend money to increase your Ganyu's damage, it shouldn't be on the Battle Pass. Be for real. Come on. And especially considering that there's a pretty decent... There's a weapon that is actually a pretty sizable increase. Pretty sizable upgrade in the Battle Pass for another character. So it's like, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna put her in no improvement. Technically, she can have a slight improvement, but it's too minor for me to give a shit. So she goes in no improvement. Hu Tao! Obviously, these characters don't really do anything for Hu Tao. But here's the thing, right? I don't think this weapon does anything either. Yeah, no. This weapon is actually a slight improvement over Deathmatch on Hu Tao. And technically, I know that there are some people that play Hu Tao with Nahida sometimes. And if you do, then this is going to be a massive improvement over your other artifact options. Like, especially in this Abyss, right? In this Abyss, a lot of people will be playing Nahida with Hu Tao. Because if they want to play Hu Tao on the second side, you need a way to deal with the Hydro Shield. And one of the best ways of doing that is using Nahida. I know that it's somewhat of a popular option right now, at least. This one is, I think, very niche. I think Hu Tao deserves a place in minor improvement. Jean! Weapons don't really do anything for Jean. This, I mean, technically it gives you some more healing, I guess. Sure, that's cool. Whatever, I guess, sure. But it's, I just go Fav. Come on, be for real. This is also... I mean, this is fine-ish if you end up playing Jean in a team where, like, you don't care about Fav, you don't care about other characters gaining energy, but it's not very good. That being said, I do think that there is something to be said for Jean being used as an animal option in Lenny teams, because I think for a lot of people it's going to be somewhat difficult to maintain the passive. Like, obviously it's going to depend, but the artifact set passive that relies on, like, your HP changing can be a bit difficult to trigger, and having Jean on your team can help you trigger it a little bit more because your HP will change a little bit more often. because her, like her field heals in relatively small increments, but somewhat often. I don't really know that it's enough to go in minor improvements, though. So I think I'll still go in no improvement. But, like, if you don't have Kazuhan, Jean is going to be a fine option for Linny teams, I guess. Kaeya. This is a fairly solid weapon for Kaeya. The potential issue is that you might go over 100 crit rate. But if you don't, it is actually fairly good on Kaeya in Rev Melt and in Freeze. This one is fine-ish, I guess, if you're using Kaeya in, like, Hyperfidge team as a free-to-play alternative to Fav, if you don't have one. That's the main thing that this weapon is, right? It's basically, if you don't have Fav, it's Cope Fav. It also looks funny. Like, those are the main two things that the weapon brings to the table. I don't really think it's enough to go in minor improvement, though. Good thing. I guess, yeah, she does get an indirect buff because Fischl's getting buffed, but not really. I'm gonna go in no improvement as well. Klee. Klee is our second character in other options get improved. Can I get an 07 for Klee? Alright, Lisa. Okay, Mona, I'm gonna go with no improvement. Ning! I'm gonna go in no improvements. Noelle. But yeah, Noelle does get Husk on Strongbox, which is a pretty huge, nice thing. So I'm gonna go, oh, it's not major, but she will go in minor improvement. Next up, Qiqi. Razor. Sucrose. I think no improvement is fair here. Childe. The more you improve Monopyro, the more you hurt Childe teams. Childe only really has one, like, very good team, and it uses 3 of the Monopyro units. When you're improving Monopyro options, you're improving the alternatives to Childe. And he's not getting any other direct things for him. I still don't think Monopyro is better than International. But the alternatives to Childe did get an improvement. Venti. Do we have any information on the enemies that are coming? I'm gonna refuse to rank him, because it just depends on whether or not the enemies are Ventiable. I'm gonna hold off on my decision on this one. Giggling. Minor improvement. She doesn't really get any new direct improvements, but you're improving Monopyro options, which is an indirect buff for Chengling. Spear. The spear's fine, but it's not better than Catch. Oh, and also Emblem. True. Emblem is coming to the Strongbox, which is another nice thing for her. Xiao! Oh, speak of the devil. Damn. Okay, Xiao. Xiao gets a minor improvement. He gets a new artifact set that is better than Vermilion if you're playing him with Bennett, and if you're not playing him with Bennett, Vermilion gets put into the Strongbox. So Xiao gets a nice little increase. Xingqiu! I don't know if Xingqiu goes here or here. Because Xingqiu's so good, he's gonna be best in slot probably in Jimenez teams, if you're playing him with the Shatter synergy, right? But also Emblem and Strongbox. I think we'll leave him in minor improvement. Xinyan! Zhongli! Tenacity goes into the Artifact Strongbox, so minor improvement. Rosaria! I think it's enough to put her in minor improvement.